What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. It is fire pit time again. In this video, we're going to be talking about how a lot of people on the right, especially MAGA, keeps throwing out this idea that, see, America is amazing. America is the greatest country in the world because FIFA tourists said so. So take that, libtards. We're going to talk about that. So thank you very much for joining me here. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. Check out in the description all the links and stuff for this channel and my other channels. Consider subscribing and liking and all that stuff over on those channels and this channel alike. All that's free for you, helps out the channels tremendously. If you want to go further, there's Patreon there, $2. You can support the channels, any channel that you would like. There's merch there. If you're a Patreon member, you get discounts on the merch. I have merch for all the channels, so check all that out. Anyways, thank you very much for joining me. Any support you guys very much appreciate. Thank you very much. And if you're returning, you are freaking amazing. So welcome back. All right, so yes, in this whole, we have been having here for quite a while, right? That, I mean, and it's a growing sentiment. It's a growing sentiment because of things that are becoming more and more obvious around our country and things that we engage in, interests that we claim that we have, and things that we send money for and seem to support that doesn't exactly have the greatest approval from citizens. I mean, there's a growing sentiment of people in this country no longer being happy with America, no longer feeling like America is performing and being a moral and righteous country as we claim to be, and that, you know, maybe we are not the greatest country in the world. Maybe there's still some improvement that we could do, and you know that we've never really been great, you know, and there's some things that we need to look in the mirror about, and you know, whatever. And you constantly have this pushback from the right, and very much so strongly from MAGA, that, if you don't like it, just why don't you move away? Why don't you go to another country? You think America ain't so great? Then go live somewhere else and you'll realize how great America is. And why, that is, we've addressed this a few times. That is such a stupid argument. It's such a very juvenile argument, because the idea is around like trying to improve your country from within, making adjustments and changes, and you know, to make things better for everybody, not just those who, you know, want it a certain way, and if you don't like it, then get the fuck out kind of people. It's anyways. Well, here with this whole FIFA World Cup, all these games being played all across the United States, this has brought in a whole lot of tourism, all right? From people just coming to the United States, many for the first time, to join in on these FIFA Cup games, because they're here to support their teams, their countries, and all this, you know. And so that has very much accumulated a lot of reaction videos and response videos and talk around, you know, all these different people trying out stuff in America and talking about America, you know, visiting different things and for the first time and exploring and talking about how great certain things are in America. And because of this, I've started to see a lot of, again, far right MAGA and stuff coming out saying, you see, America is amazing. America is great because look at all these FIFA tourists and look at all these people coming over here, and they're talking about all these videos about how amazing America is. So see, we were right. We were right. America is amazing. Ha 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 ha. let's get one thing straight. These videos are talking about specific things in America. All right, specific things in America that are maybe not found in other countries, or is not a common practice in other countries. And let me continue. I was about to bring up one point, but I'm going to save that for a little bit. A lot of this around, the biggest thing I have seen around this is food, okay? In America, because America does have great food, because of the abundance of culture, the abundance of immigration here, the abundance of all kinds of different influences within this country that have been allowed to in here and to come here, emboldening and providing all kinds of different character and flavor into our cuisines, okay? I mean, and then on top of that, of course, there's also the idea that America is very unregulated when it comes to food. We allow a lot of shit, which has caused a common practice. Our portion sizes, the things with like, it's like an overabundance. That's the reason why there's been conversation for decades now over obesity rates and other problems, health issues and stuff around Americans because of this type of situation. And so there are a lot of other countries, especially across Europe and stuff like that, that have a lot stricter regulations, and so they're not allowed certain things. There's a certain contents that, you know, they have to stay within or whatever, and then just upright the importation of certain foods, certain things are not there. So there's a little bit more of a limitation around certain things in other countries. And so they're coming to these countries and they're seeing this and they're getting to taste things, different things. They're getting to, you know, all these different flavors. They're going to the Walmarts, the Costco's. The mass size of things here is very large. They don't have that kinds of things in those countries. Why? Because those countries are small, okay? They're smaller countries, less land, less ability to just build these massive ass convenience stores and grocery stores and all this kind of stuff. There's different things that America is able to do and able to build and able to, and the fact that we have to accommodate here in America as many people as we have here in America. And so that is the kinds of things that you were seeing these people talk about. And talking about like, whoa, this is amazing. The food is amazing. Oh my gosh, look at this massive store that's got all kinds of different things in it. I can just buy everything in one location. The kind of stuff that they don't have, like you have to go to multiple stores to get. Okay, so that is a very small, that is a very specific, that's a very niche thing to argue and talk about America being great, okay? And there's nobody making arguments around America not being great because of its food, America not being great because of the convenience that we have around certain things, around resources that we, you know, have, arguably because of some very sussy things that we might even be doing in order to make sure that happens. But nevertheless, yes, we have the ability and we have the connections and we have all these things very much at our fingertips that, quite frankly, has spoiled a lot of America, especially when those types of accesses and things in other countries are just not there. And while there's a lot of sentiment that it would be no different from us going to another country that has a specific type of food or a specific type of regimen or whatever, and finding some sort of blissfulness or interesting point of that as well. It's the same thing. It's no different. Doesn't make them better, doesn't make us better. It's just the convenience and the what is available here. All right, that does not make them. You do not see videos, okay, of people tourists coming over here and going, you know what, America is so amazing because of all these immigrants they're grabbing up and putting into concentration camps and kicking out of the country. Man, America is so amazing. I wish our country did that. No, you don't see that. You don't see that. You don't see tourists coming over here going, oh my gosh, America is so fucking amazing because they're bombing the shit out of all these countries and they just randomly blow up ships and we start fights with everybody. Oh my gosh, America is so amazing because of all these tariffs that we put on here, because all the raising prices and stuff. Oh my gosh, because it's so expensive over here now. And well, I mean, it's so amazing. No, you don't see terrorists talking about that. You don't see the tourists coming over here and constantly talking about, oh my gosh, America is so amazing because they have, that billionaire president who's probably a part of the Epstein files and like, he's a criminal and he's stripping away rights and taking away things while protecting himself and enriching himself. America is so amazing. Oh my gosh. No, they're not talking about that. Let's don't be fucking stupid here. Tourists are not coming over here talking about the problems of America, the problems that people that critique America have a problem with. Okay? People that are talking about how America, might not be as great as we think we are, or how America could improve in certain areas of America. We're not talking about the fact that we're not talking about the food. We're not saying, oh, America is not that good because we ain't got good food. No, we ain't fucking talking about that. We're not talking about America ain't that great because we have such massive ass Walmarts and massive ass Costco's and we can just go fucking buy wherever we want anyway and we can get mass produced things and everything. Like, no, nobody is talking about America not being great because of that. And that's what the tourists are coming here talking about. So don't, you're pretending and acting like you're either compliantly ignorant, or you think that your argument is going to ignorant people. And I'm here to tell you that the people that are making the critiques of this country and how there's some improvements that still need to be made, or the backsliding that is happening with this country is not agreed upon, okay? We're not stupid. We can read through this ignorance. We can read through that stupidity argument that you're making. So spare me that oh look, America is great because FIFA tourists. Fuck off. You're a moron. You're not making a good argument. You are quite literally looking and sounding as stupid as your argument is. So spare me, okay? It's so absolutely ridiculous, and this is the type of arguments that you get from these type of people, okay? That you get from MAGA all the time. The most stupidest arguments, the most petty, ridiculous arguments to try to justify and validate their compliancy in horrific and terrible policies and terrible leadership that we have in this country. Kissing the ass of the likes of someone like Donald fucking Trump. No, I'm sorry that your arguments are just not valid, okay? It's not valid. The tourists that are coming over here, they are having good videos. They are talking about good things about America, true enough, but they are not talking about the problems. They're not talking about the problems because they're not concerned with the problems, because they know that they're going to go back to their country that very well probably doesn't have those problems, or even to the degree that they might have those problems, it's not as fucked up as it is here. So let's not pretend. All right, let's not pretend. There are problems in this country, and to act like you cannot improve, to act like this country is so amazing that it does not need any improving, that it needs to continue as it is into infinitum, is just absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And while you might say, many of you are probably going to say, but yeah, I mean, yeah, we certainly do need to improve. We need to improve. What you're going to argue to improve is going back. We need to improve white people. We need to improve white people birthrights. We need to improve the white culture, the white society. We need to improve by having less brown people, having less black people, and having less culture, having less immigration, having less people come here. But that argument completely goes against the argument of the tourists, because the tourists are talking about amazing things in America, and those amazing things are here because of the things that you want to get rid of. That's the truth. So spare me. I just had to get that off my chest, because I just think it's the stupidest argument for making your declaration of how amazing and trying to validate how amazing you think America is. Does America have wonderful things in it? Yes, it does. Does America have things that makes it a great nation to live in? Yes, it does. But that's something that very much annoys me, when you have this argument of, oh, I have a disagreement with something in America, so therefore I need to be told to just fucking leave and go somewhere else. If it were that easy, I probably would have. You know why? Because just like you have your pride in your country and where you live, and you're used to it, and are enveloped in the community and the area around you, so are those people. Those people in other countries. And there are great countries out there that have great policies, that have great conditions, and have even greater rates and greater approval around certain things that America does not. There are a lot of countries out there that are rated at a better and higher rate of approval of democracy than the United States. Higher approval and better rates for health outcomes than the United States. Have better ratings and approval around child care than the United States. Have greater approval around trade and relationships with other countries than the United States. Has a greater track record of not fucking going to wars endlessly than the United States. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but yes, there are a lot of countries out there that, to some degree or another, in certain areas, are in fact better than the United States. But the reason why I don't leave America, many reasons. For one, I'm hunkered here. I'm hunkered here in family and in community, and people that I love, people that I don't want to run away from and leave them here in this condition. Why would I make the argument that I need to leave because of a certain condition that I don't want to deal with, but leave family and loved ones here in that condition? No, what I want to do is improve these conditions, improve these things. And in order to do that, you must stay in it. You must fight within it. And because I want to fight and stay here to try to improve and make things better and push back against this ever-growing fascism that you want to defend, somehow that makes me anti-American. Somehow that makes me evil. Somehow that makes me a deplorable and someone that is deemed unpatriotic. Your whole point, your whole ideology, your whole thought process is completely fucking backwards. And you don't even see it. Constantly arguing and protecting and defending things that are completely against your best interests, and you don't even see it. America is a great country, but America's never been the greatest, and it's not the greatest. And if we continue to go in the direction that we're going, it will never be the greatest. In fact, there's an even better argument that it will eventually cease to be great. So it's time to look in the mirror. It's time to actually see and realize the problems, and realize that there is improvement need to be done. And that's all that a lot of us are asking for. And quite frankly, tourists do not define whether or not this country is great or not. So thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, peace, clear talk, I'm out.